Hello guys, welcome back. Last week we spoke a little bit about Black Jesus.
Okay.
Hey y'all. Today we're going to discuss the solar eclipse for a little bit.
Some major topics.
Yes,
lately.
just to kind of see what to expect, what to not expect, and things like that.
Yeah, but before we even dive into that, guys, like you already know the deal. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you have not already. We definitely appreciate your continued support. We see you guys out there, okay?
All right.
And I'm glad to see that our videos is making its way to you, and you guys are enjoying it. So definitely go ahead. We drop these videos like this every single week.
Absolutely. We
Yeah.
show up for y'all.
Okay.
All right.
So what? The
Let's
solar
discuss
eclipse.
The solar eclipse. Okay. To start off,
Yeah.
I want to just briefly discuss why it's important to at least have some sort of basic knowledge regarding astrology for starters. Okay. I know that a lot of people just kind of tend to stay away from it.
Yeah.
It's a science, you know what I mean? And it's one of the oldest sciences that's been around.
Right. We're talking about BC type of science.
Yes. And there are lots of benefits to being able to read the stars, study the planets, and things like that, and in reference to how it affects us as people. Because let's be for real, right?
Yeah.
Not only are we living on the planet, we have a lot of similarities that are, of things that are found on the planet, like regarding the bodies of water, for example.
Yes.
Okay.
We are 60% water. And
Yes.
if we'd be a fool to not say that what's happening out there in the planetary world is not affecting us as people.
Mm-hmm.
We are all, atomic, energetic little beings.
Exactly. And, if we can say that our direct outside environment, like nature, can affect us mood-wise and, help us with our health and things like that, then how can we exclude astrology? How can we exclude space? You know what I mean? Things aren't just about, things that are on the earth. Now, I bet you all would be interested to know if a comet was about to hit planet right now, right?
Okay.
Well, so that's just one reason to try to study, astrology. You don't have to be an astronaut to know about it.
Yeah.
Information is free.
Exactly. And you don't have to dive in deep into it. It's not about it being your passion, but just giving the validity. Is that
Validity.
a word? Validity of the fact that it is true.
Yes.
And it is.
And they affect
important.
us. Let's be for real. I mean, how some of our emotions can peak during the moon, like the full moons. If the oceans if the body of waters in the oceans and lakes and things like that are affected, we can assume that the waters in our bodies are also being affected, and how that affects our mood, our health, and things like that. So
that part.
really educate yourself regarding astrology.
Okay. And now that we got that out of the way, there's been a lot of talk about the solar eclipse. I mean,
Yes.
I'm sure you've seen already tons of videos already. It's blowing up everywhere. NASA's talking about it. We have all of these news networks, and a lot of them could be fear-mongering. A lot of that could be like, oh my gosh, never seen before, right?
Yeah.
And, it is huge. It is like a solar eclipse happening and, traveling through 13 to 15 states.
Right.
Hitting major cities.
And which is a big deal, cities, I feel like that's usually the hot spot for a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
And I was reading somewhere recently too about solar attacks and things like that and how it affects the people.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's, and not to mention earthquake just hit New York City, y'all need a break, right? But the solar eclipse is gonna happen, and it does have its own effects. The first thing we're going to mention, right?
Yeah.
Is regarding the fear-mongering.
Yeah.
Just remember to keep calm and to not be affected by the, what the media is saying as far as oh my gosh, it's something, to not let the media implant fears in you, because fear is something that can drastically affect someone in a very negative way.
Okay. And so, like we said, enough of that, right? So this is not going to be a channel that we are going to talk about that because we've seen it enough.
Yes.
What we're going to mention now, or some of the symptoms that you might be feeling before, during, and after this major solar eclipse. So for me, one of the first things I'm going to mention is the fact that headaches. So a lot of you guys might be, because of the sensitivity of the energy all over the place, right? You might get a lot of like head actions because it is affecting kind of like your sinuses and the third eye type of like area. So
yes, and more into biology and science too. Our brain has these waves. If the sun can emit these sound waves or solar waves that affects our brains, which are also energetically, you know what I mean, like charged or affected.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just, I know that there's something regarding brain waves, right, that can be affected as for when it comes to the outside forces, especially energies of like the sun and things like that.
Yeah. So, okay, so you might be experiencing that. A lot of you guys might be experiencing tiredness. I mean, energetical wise, you might be drained from, like, I know lately for me too, it's just kind of like this tiredness. It's kind of like, but it's not your normal tiredness. It's kind of like, wow, I'm feeling kind of like drained. You might be feeling that during those times because, like I said, of the destabilizing energy that's kind of like going all over the place.
Yes. Tiredness, fatigue is definitely one. Another one we can expect is vivid dreams. I feel like our brains, especially while we're sleeping, is going to be very active during this time. And with the high solar waves, it's like you can expect to see something in your dreams, y'all.
Okay, and then and the opposite of that, some of you guys might be facing or dealing with insomnia. Not being able to sleep. I know lately too. Sometimes it's like normally I don't really stay up late, but it's like wondering like not being able to fall asleep. Don't beat yourself up for that. It is to be expected over the next few days, like I said.
Yeah, the mind might be racing, hence the hyperactivity, which is why you can get either or. Like, it's super active while you're sleeping, so those images and, vivid dreams are coming through. Or it might be like so loud that you can't even get some sleep, where it's causing you insomnia.
Okay.
But last but not least, and of course that's always to be expected, is the emotional mood swings.
Yeah.
Okay, so please mind how you're feeling during this time. If you're extra, triggered by certain things, if you're more irritated by certain things, or perhaps you are overly emotional about certain things that didn't affect you like that before, it might be the effects of the solar eclipse.
Okay, which leads us into our next kind of like segue, which is basically 5 things to do or not to do during this time and even afterwards. And it is saying do stay away from negative energies, negative places, negative things. So what we're just talking about, right?
Negative
like
people.
Yes. So if you're like in a super charged environment, where people are having emotional swings, mood swings,
get out.
And not being accountable to their own feelings and their state of being, do stay away from that.
Get out of there.
That includes watching fear-mongering TV shows, news, and all these things. Stay away from all of that. You don't need that in your environment during this sensitive time.
Another thing you should do, if you haven't done so already, is do like a deep cleaning. Just the energetic meaning behind cleaning. Getting rid of the stuff that's not needed and, polishing the things that you want to keep around is referencing the energetic field of it as well, where it's just like getting rid of those, old energies. We can expect things to fade away that's not necessary anymore. It might feel kind of like a start over, you know what I mean? Like a reset. And for this reset, for it to be successful, you need to successfully get rid of the bad stuff,
I like that.
The
out
negative
with the
things.
old, making space for the new, right?
That's exactly right.
Right, and during this time too, you can use this time to reflect, and so not only release, but reflecting on that and to see what's been going on in your life. Like this would be a good time to journal. Because the last solar eclipse happened in 2017, so you might see recurring themes. Okay, so going off with that, what happened then could be happening now, leading you to, like you were saying before, push that out and close the door finally. So use that time to reflect and to journal.
Yes.
Your thoughts, your feelings, what you're seeing, these downloads that you may be getting, all of that is very important.
Pay attention, y'all. And that goes along with the reflection, as you were saying, is to meditate, guys. I mean, this might be a time where even there might be challenging with the high thoughts, the high intensity thoughts, and the racing of the mind. It might be a good time to try to quiet the mind, meditate, spend some time with yourself, and try to literally reconnect. You know what I mean? Especially if you're feeling like kind of lost, which is what this might cause as far as like the fogginess. It's a good time to just kind of reflect and be like, you know what, let me just sit in silence, because you'll be surprised at the answers that come to you when you sit in silence, the type of clarity that it helps you, gain back after this crazy fogginess.
Ooh, love that. And if you're not one to meditate, but you also still want to reconnect with yourself, go out in nature. That's another way to reconnect with source and yourself, and to be able to ground yourself, walking barefoot on the grass. So while you're out there, kind of like enjoying the oneness, the serenity, and the calmness of nature. Yes. Now, with that being said, you know what I mean? Like, if you are one of those people who are choosing to try to view the solar eclipse, and like I said, not everyone will be able to, depending where you're at, definitely wear some safety glasses, some goggles, so you can protect your eyes.
And I like that you mentioned, you know what I mean, with it still being a good time to be able to go out in nature and connect with nature, because I remember in the past, like, solar eclipses was one of those things where, everybody hide inside. Like, okay, put the dark blinds on. Don't even go outside.
What?
You know what I
You're
mean?
Crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you'll catch on fire when you step out there.
Listen.
So let's just be careful about the fears that we're just ready to exhibit and hold on to. Like, no, you can go outside, all right? As always, protect yourself, especially regarding the sun. I mean, even when isn't a solar eclipse, you wear sunglasses, right? When you go out in the bright sun. Everyone knows, like, you don't have to wait for a solar eclipse to be like, don't look at the sun. This is crazy. All right, y'all? Like, still live your life. You know what I mean? This is something that's going to happen, not as frequently, you know what I mean, as the other happenings, I guess, astrological wise.
Yeah, next one's in 20 years.
Yes, the next solar eclipse is in 20 years, but it does happen, and we do live through that. So I don't know of anybody, recently that I've heard of that went blind during solar eclipse.
If you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody,
okay,
go ahead and comment down, because we don't know nobody.
We don't know, and we don't know if they'll be able to, comment because they're blind. You know what I mean?
Well, get that person who knows somebody to leave it down below, because guys, what we're trying to say is that, like, enough with the fear mongering.
Yes.
I think sometimes people use this like, oh my gosh, solar eclipse is the end all doom, end of the world. And what we want to say to that is kind of like, the solar eclipse is not a bad thing. This could be such a great, empowering thing, like we said, because it is ending things. And instead of like you looking at it like it's the next chapter, it's not even a chapter, it's a whole new book.
Okay.
We are, during that time, you could have faded, meetings, faded destinies, unexpected opportunities, all of these great things that are headed your way if you focus on that and hone in on that.
Yes. Heavy on the focusing on the new, because the changes may not feel positive at first, especially if something like a business relationship or whatever is ending, or it doesn't seem like, is going to be profitable. You must trust the process.
Okay.
Like, and always remember that everything is happening for you and not against you. Okay.
Ooh, yep.
Take change with how should I say this? With grace, or take change with. I feel like the word I was trying to say escaped my mouth.
Yeah. Well, maybe take,
with elegance, whatever, whatever the word that fits, take it with ease. Maybe that's what I was trying to say. you ain't helping.
I know.
But yeah. Take it with ease, you know, embrace it.
Yeah, maybe give yourself grace,
yeah.
you know, with what's happening, like you said, because change is uncomfortable, you know, it is, you are being pushed out there. But it's for your best, okay? It's for your highest good. And you know, who wouldn't want to experience the highest joy and their highest version of themselves that they're meant to experience anyways.
All right.
Yeah.
But with that being said, y'all, I mean, enjoy the solar eclipse, okay?
Yeah.
If you are going to stay inside, you know, maybe it's a good, you know, movie day type of
right.
vibe.
You know, light your candles, you know, have your, you know, little candles, light some chilling mood action. I don't know, you know.
To entice the good moods, the good feels, okay? And stay away, once again, stay away from those negative people. I ain't gonna tell y'all again.
Okay? We're gonna hit that block button now.
But thank you all for our current subscribers and the people showing us love every week. And for our new subscribers, welcome. Our new viewers, welcome. We drop videos like this every week. So if you have not done so already, hit that bell. You got to it first.
Yes, you did. And we'll catch you guys next week.
All right. See ya.
Bye.